Hi, everybody. I'm here with Barry Flack, and we're talking about recruiter enablement. So, Barry, give us a quick introduction to you in case anybody doesn't know you.
Delighted to be here. Thank you, Adam. Look for the simplicity of your viewers today. I'm Barry Flack. In this capacity, I am the advisor at Talent Sandbox, and recently closed out on an instructional design piece of work for a recruiter enablement course that we have put together. I do lots and lots of other stuff, which people can see on my LinkedIn profile. But look, for today, I think that's probably the best sort of funnel to talk ourselves through.
Yeah, you've been advising companies for a long time, tech companies and all sorts. Okay, talk to us about the recruiter enablement learning that you've been putting together.
Yeah, look, I guess to reflect back on, the question that you ask and my reflections of it, and it's been a great series. Like our recruiter enablement at its core is about providing our recruiters out there with tools and technology and process and content and learning and all that great stuff that we line out. I think our differentiator on the course that we're desperately trying to get across, I think, are probably two messages, Adam. One, I think we've run out of road in being accidental recruitment functions, and we've got to take this thing seriously.
Yeah.
And I think the second part of it, which I can expand on, is very much recruiter enablement's a ways of working to me. It is all of the above, but it can sound like a souped up recruitment ops role if we don't really reflect on it being a different way of working as a recruitment organization.
All right, let's talk about these two different things. So the first is we've run out of road in terms of the accidental recruiter. I'm really encouraged to hear more and more people saying that they chose to work in recruitment rather than most people of my age who fell into it. And I don't know hardly anybody my age who made an active choice to go into recruitment because it wasn't really a well-known like business discipline in the 90s. So you're in terms of we've run out of road on that. That is because it's got to professionalize. It's got to become more effective. What's your summary on that?
Yeah, look, it's we use the phrase this accidental piece. It's been influenced heavily down the years, and like you've been an active part of that by bringing in what we would call that marketing automation. We brought in lots of thinking from our colleagues in technology disciplines. I've worked in the past and relied heavily in the course around sales enablement, around business enablement. So there's an enormous amount of stuff along this way that we have, I frankly, would challenge, haven't taken full maximum usage of. We don't have, enough organizations who are embracing that, really understanding what that means, and seeing, I think, recruitment for what it is when you take the technology piece, scraping away the mundane, which is that we're just going to be jam-packed full of multidisciplinary people who are no longer going to have to pull a funny face with tech or pretend that they are the stars of the recruitment function and share nothing, be inefficient. I think all of those things have now passed us by. And we've reached that point where quite simply we cannot and won't do that anymore because, look, what we've seen recently is we get that lighthouse thinking in organizations. When we're seen in an environment that doesn't grow, CEOs fire lots of recruitment departments. And we've got to get to a point of adding business value on a consistent, constant basis. So can we predict this stuff? How do we keep the wheels of the organization moving? How can we bring intelligence? How can we add more business value than just saying I'm hiring this team or I'm not hiring that team?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think we've got to really engineer every facet of this. Whereas previously we might have set up very, very basic processes and allowed everybody to go off and do things in their own way, really. And some people were successful and other people weren't. And the people who weren't got fired. But actually, we should be engineering it a lot more, in my opinion. So obviously, people should be signing up for Talent Sandbox in order to get access to your wonderful learning around this. But can you give us a kind of summary of, you talked about, for example, recruiter enablement has kind of been seen as like just sort of some part of recruitment operations or whatever. What would be your just sort of summary of the distinction?
Yeah, look, I think the distinction and thinking about how we've crafted the course is, look, the business case is reflected on the fact that this is an organizational build, that we are trying to build organizations that can withstand any level of unpredictability. So if anybody has been listening and looking to what I write about for years, it's been, we're in this age of complexity. Greatest example was COVID pandemic. We've got a over the brow, no idea what's going to hit us. So how do we create an organization that can just withstand any of those? So the course in giving out the snippets of embrace technology, embrace data, embrace, wonderful tasks that some do, some don't, objection handling, what does that mean when you put a battle card together, all that stuff that we just want to raise the standards. But a huge part of it is about saying, right, actually, how do you shift a business and a team in there to be equipped with the right skill sets, the right mindset to be able to say, I'm no longer the lonesome boatman and I need to be able to avoid rework. What I've just done and experimented with is worth sharing to the rest of the team. What I've just done is not going to get me fired because my experimentation operates inside a safe environment and it won't ding me in my bonus, because everyone recognizes that us testing this particular approach to the market, may work and may not, and so I can't be massively definite. I can test this new channel, I can test this new tool, so I can embrace this in a very agile manner. And around me are different rules. There are different ways of working. There is a different feel to the organization. I put as much value in stepping offline and working with the team to develop a candidate journey, to really understand the moments, to build automation around that, than I do obsessing every day with the conversion of the person at the end of the funnel that gives me the tingly bits that the traditional recruiter, still loves and still gets. So we're really saying we've got to reorientate. We've got to go back to some of those basics that IT and business enablement and marketing and everybody give us. And we've got to start taking that stuff seriously. We've got to avoid people who I've worked alongside who went, I'm not a techie, so I'm not going to embrace it. I'll let somebody else. And I think there's a bit of a tough love message for us that says, I don't think that's not going to keep you relevant, and that's not going to keep you alive in your organization going forward. And I'd rather you embrace that tough questioning than being sitting there in 3 years' time being the person who unfortunately has a difficult conversation that goes up, because we've got enormous value to provide as a recruitment teams.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, I'm smiling because I used to smile at people that would say to me, oh, I'm a bit of a technophobe. But now I'm like, you can't say that. You can't be a technophobe. You have to, get up to date immediately. It's not okay anymore. So, Barry, thanks very much for your time. It's been great to talk to you. I wish you and Talent Sandbox every success, especially with this recruiter enablement learning, because I want everybody to know as much as possible about it. We're talking about 3 days before Scotland plays against Ireland in the Rugby World Cup. I wish your team no success, and I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thanks very much, Adam.